Welcome, welcome. Tonight we're going to talk capes, fall capes. You guys love them. You know, this was inspired by, there was a lady in the store a little bit ago, and I hope she's not watching, but she said to me that she couldn't sew. She wanted to sew, but she couldn't sew because she couldn't fit. And you know, that made me sad because you could sew capes all day long and they don't have to fit. And it's good to practice sewing. So I thought, let's do fall capes now before it gets too cold. And they don't have to fit. And then we can practice our fitting, whatever you're working on. And it doesn't matter. So fall capes are perfect. They're everywhere. There's great fabric. We have incredible fabric for you. And we just have some ideas that are really simple and easy and fun. Okay, so I want to remind you a couple things. Tonight's the last night. Our $1,000 value giveaway, Fit to Stitch. It's our last night. And how do you say please, pretty please? Every, donation, cash, Anyway, and we're giving a $1,000 value. That goes. We'll decide that tomorrow, and we'll let the winner know. So tonight's the last night. All right, so let's get started. We're going to talk capes. And the fabrics are incredible, and it really is. The fabrics are what inspired me, to be quite honest, but just so that you know, you don't have to fit to sew capes. That's the cool thing about capes. So I want to start off just with patterns, just giving you options of patterns. So I'm going to start off with the patterns we have, that they're all called capes, so it's not like you wouldn't think of them, except this off-the-shoulder poncho. This would be adorable in a cape, a poncho cape, because you could do it and then just wear a shirt underneath. Or you could make the shirt actually match. There's lots of options. But this would be adorable. Very simple to do, and it would be asymmetric. And again, you don't have to show that skin. You could put a little shirt underneath. Okay, that's pattern number 94. Then we have pattern number 75, Phillips cape. And you can do just the top layer. It's adorable, just the top layer. It's a short little, like a little capelet. Those are also really in style, pattern number 75. Okay, then we've got pattern number 96. And this is a cape. It's got a little hood. In case you like a little hood, you can zip up the front, welt pockets. You don't have to put a zipper. You could slip it over your head. Just real easy to do. BJ's cape is what that's called. Then the one I have on is called Fifth Avenue cape. I'll show you that in a little bit more detail. That's pattern number 98. And I made this cape because I have worn it so much I've worn it out. So I just needed a new one. You know, when everything starts looking like it's really, really old, and someone says to you, I'll bet you wear that a lot. And I'm like, is it that bad? Is it that obvious? All right, so those are our capes. But I'm going to show you a couple pictures because there's some ideas that I pulled. And if you search fall 2024 capes, you'll just get, there's so many ideas. There's just so many incredible ideas out there, and they're very, very simple. But I wanted to show you a couple. And so we're going to pull up these pictures here in just a sec. Okay, the first one. Because you could take the cape I have on, and you could put a hole, you just put a buttonhole, where you could tie it with a belt. If you wanted it to be a little more fitted. I find that, obviously you all know I travel, and as I travel, I just love throwing this on top of anything, like black pants, black top. It's like a uniform, and all of a sudden you throw a cape on and somebody thinks you actually are dressed well. So it's perfect for doing just exactly that. But if you wanted to have a belt, you could have a belt. So I wanted to show you that option. And then this next option I want to show you, and we'll be touching on this tonight, Burberry. I want you to notice the price. I did it out of the Chanel. We've got a little Chanel woven here. And I'll go over the measurements, but I want you to pay attention to those measurements. I think they're 51 by 60, and that is cape size, and I'll go over all the variables for you, okay? Okay, so with that, we're gonna look at fabric, because our fabrics are just incredible, and then we can answer questions you have. Peggy, is your fabric store still open on Saturdays? Yes, it's open every Saturday, 12 to 5. You can go online, it says retail location, and you can just see the address and everything. What do you mean still open? We're always open on Saturdays, 12 to 5. Yes, and we love it here on Saturdays. We just have a great time. It's just so much fun. So yep, we're here. Okay, we're gonna start with, I put in a couple fabrics that aren't necessarily cape worthy, but they're definitely like top worthy. This has to be my favorite fabric. Well, probably not favorite, but it's really, really good. So you guys look at this burnout, and you know how burnouts are always two fibers they have to be because one has to burn away? This is silk and viscose. I know. Silk and viscose. It is just so beautiful. Silk and viscose. I just love this fabric. I know you will too. So this would be great for a cape. You could do a cape in it, but you'd certainly want it to be loose and go over, something else. But wouldn't that be pretty? And just a really lightweight cape, even with the same kind of fabric top underneath. You could really work the placement to where it was, I just thought this was beautiful. Could be very modest because of how you placed it on your body. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're at 5,800. I just hit myself in the head, you guys, sorry. I didn't tell you these basics. I just assume you all know this, but I shouldn't do that. We're at 5,800. You go to silhouettepatterns.com, fabrics, view all, and then scroll all the way to the bottom. And there's 14 fabrics. All right, so then this one is a pre-sale because he doesn't have very much and he promised it to somebody else. And so he told me, that he would give me whatever I needed, but he only wanted, once this is gone, this is going to be gone. But this is really pretty. It's lightweight. It's Italian, obviously. It's 100% wool, and it's a woven. I want to get a close on both of these sides. It's really beautiful. It's a really soft floral on one side, and then it's like a little dot on the other side. And it's really blouse weight, but you could do an awful lot with it. You could do a cape, because all capes don't have to be really, really heavy. They can be lightweight, but this is just really beautiful. I'll just unroll it so you can kind of see the drape. It's just very, very pretty. Again, now, let me just say this, because the last several weeks, the fabrics come down Friday night. They're up through Friday night. I literally take them down Saturday morning. But I've gotten quite a few people saying, oh, I want this fabric. And I've come to the store and I cut it, and I'm not going to do this, okay? They're up through Friday night. That's it. Once they're gone, they come to the store, they're gone. So by Friday night, make your decisions, okay? This will be pre-saled through Friday night. Once the pre-sale is over, he's going to cut us what we have purchased, and then that's it. He's going to release it to she's a designer, apparently, and she wants it. And she wants all he has, but he had already told me he would sell it to me. So he's trying to keep his promise to both people, okay? All right, then this one is a viscose, but it's a viscose metallic. It's beautiful. A viscose metallic, and it's a zebra. You can see from that, and the viscose has incredible drape. And I'm going to have you look really close at this for a minute here. What you'll notice is in every center of the print, there's a zebra head, and then the print evolves around that zebra head. It's just beautiful. It's beautifully done. And then there's that touch of metallic in there, and it's a viscose. So simply a stunning blouse, beautiful black and white. I just think it's just a really pretty fabric, One of those pretties. Okay, then we're at 5804. And 5804 is the one I have on. And I love my cape. Oh, I'm not supposed to turn it that much. I've got the microphone. Sorry. I just love it. I love it. I put, there's two sides to this. You can see there's like I don't know which side's the right side, to be honest. I have no idea. But I decided that this was the right side. It's the side I wanted to show, so I did. The only thing I did different is I put the cuffs on a bias because I thought that was just kind of cool. So it's just pretty, and it's lovely, and it's warm. And I did use the fringe because y'all know me. I love to use the selvage. I put the bottom pieces all the way along the selvage. And instead of hemming this, all I did was stitch it, right sides, wrong sides together. Pretty cool, huh? It's just fun. These capes are so expensive, and so they're really fun to do neat little things with them. Has a pocket. Yay, pockets. Okay, so that's 5804. Then 5805 is we had this fabric before. There's only like 2 or 3 panels left. It's a graduated. This is perfect for capes. And of course on one side, and then if you go to the opposite side, it's the opposite print. Just really beautiful. I don't know how else to tell you. It's just really a beautiful piece of fabric. And so this panel is 1.5 yards, and that price is priced for the panel. So it's 1.5 yards, just be aware. And the reason these capes are 1.5 yards, I'm going to show you when we get to this Chanel. I'm going to go through and I'll show you that. This is a crepe. It's 100% viscose, but it's a crepe. Again, such a beautiful piece of fabric. And I actually saw this. I'm trying to think. I could not remember the designer that I saw this fabric, but they actually did the pants and the blouse the same fabric. So you're going to visualize, isn't that beautiful? And then they had just a little black wrap on top of it. It's just very pretty, beautiful drape. Just a beautiful piece of fabric. And this is a stretch woven. There's a little bit of stretch to this. So it would be really beautiful. And like I said, blouse, pants, whatever you all decide, dress, it would work on many levels. Okay, then that's 58, let's see, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5806. Okay, and then 5807, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 5807 is a Chanel, and this is our Chanel. Now, what I did is I did a cape. I made a cape, and I made it according to those measurements, that Burberry cape that I showed you in the beginning. So it's 60 by 51. So 60 goes front to back, because if you can see what I did is I left the selvage on the bottom, and all you do is you pull out this white thread. I did it on part of it, I just didn't do it on all of it. There's like a white thread that goes through the selvage. You don't want that. I mean, it goes through the fringe. It's just holding the fringe, it's just a thing. You just take it out. Just take the time to take it away. Okay, so you can see this is a selvage. So the 60 goes from front to back. And then the width of this is the 51, the 1.5 yards. So you can make it less if you want. You could even make the fringe less. You could always put a seam down here if you wanted to make it shorter. I wanted it to have fringe both at the top and the bottom. But what I did is I priced the Chanel by the 1/2 yard so that you wouldn't have to buy 2 yards to get this, because it's 60 inches wide and you need 1.5 yards. 1.5 yards is 50 inches. Is that right? 1.5 yards, 36 and 18, it's 54 inches. You don't quite need 1.5 yards, but that way you'll have a little bit extra. And also then on the end, you see what I did is I fringed this. So I actually didn't sew any of this. It's all fringed. The only thing I did was I sewed on a button. That was just what I wanted, because what a button does is in my mind, when it's on you, it kind of stabilizes it a little bit. I don't know. It just kind of helps you know what's supposed to be where. I don't know how to say that, but I like, you can always sew a seam right here just to form the armhole. I've seen some capes that have done like a rectangle. They sew up and then they sew out so that it still opens and you still see both sides, but it allows for that stability to kind of be present. With these measurements that Burberry did, if you noticed on the Burberry Cape 2, see how it folds back here at the front and it kind of cascades down. So those measurements are really good measurements. I've seen them before. It's not been the first time. And so again, I infringed out the front also. I didn't want you to have to waste that 1/2 yard. It just doesn't make any sense at that price. So just be mindful, this is sold by the 1/2 yard, for that purpose, just so that you can kind of get what you want and not have to waste anything additional. Easy enough? Any questions on that? Okay, so that's the top row. Those 7, I think they all are so cape worthy, it's ridiculous, and yet we've still got great stuff. And I just love my cape. The best thing I like about these webcasts, you guys, is no matter what's going on in my life, I have to go sew. It's like the best thing in the whole world. And sometimes I'm sewing thinking I have no business sewing. I've got too many things going on, but it's awesome. It's awesome to have to sew when you have no time to sew. I would definitely recommend it to you all, okay? Okay, questions, sorry. The cape you have on is lovely, thank you. I have this pattern and I'm trying to work out where in the pattern I would shorten it. I'm only 5'2". Okay, so I can help you with that. You've got, here, let me use this side. So this piece right here, there's like 4, think of it, there's 4 pieces. There's the front top, the front bottom, the back top, the back bottom. Shorten the front top. Because, you know, you probably just want to bring the pocket up. Just right in this piece right here, take a tuck right through here. Above there's the seam, but above their seam, and then when it corresponds to the back in the same place. So just if you'll notice, not the bottom pieces, the top pieces, I would take out maybe 3 inches. 3 inches is probably going to be plenty. 4, I'm afraid it's going to just look too short because you want it to have, you know, you want it to be long. But I would take out about 3 inches just on both of those pieces, and I think you'll find it's really easy. I don't think they're square, so I don't think you'll have any problem at all. I think it's just not understanding the pattern is probably the worst part of it, okay? Okay, does the Chanel cape have a seam up the center back? Or is it one width with a slit up the center front for the opening? Yes, the second. I didn't do any seam in the center back. I left this all one piece. This is all one piece. Some of my fringing is, and I just put a slit right up the center front, and then I started fringing. So you can see that fringe. And so I didn't finish that either because it's just fringe. The fabric is perfect for fringing. This is the selvage here, and then the, you know, it fringes different fringe, but it's all really pretty. So it's all one piece, slit up the front, halfway, and then you can fringe it out. And it kind of, when you fringe it out, it makes room for the neck, if that makes sense. The website Fabric View All is only showing 5801 twice. I have to type in the fabric number in the search bar to see the info on the individual fabric. Okay, we'll check it. I mean, it was showing on mine, no problem. And you know, maybe somebody else just tell us if you're having that same problem at the bottom. If you're going to view all, and if you're seeing all the fabrics, or if you're only seeing, but you know, on mine it was showing. Sometimes this happens. I don't know, you know, computers are such that we love them and hate them all at the same time. It's amazing how lovely computers are. I cuss mine out every day, but man, if it's not working, I'm in big trouble. Okay, I always blame it for being behind, by the way. You guys, I've answered all your emails. It's just my computer that hasn't sent them. Not. Okay, those are the top 7 then. Let's go to the bottom because there's really some exciting stuff here at the bottom. Okay, we're going to start with this black and white, and this is a Balenciaga. It is 100% wool. It is a reversible. It was born to be a cape. And just the roll is bigger than I am, but is that beautiful? It's beautiful. And you know, one I didn't suggest is not a cape, it's a vest, is 851 Bellas, or 851, yeah, I think it's 851 Bellas. You know, that was meant to, it has a seam, and that seam is exactly, you know, mathematical. It will make the checks line up because this is an even check. So that would be gorgeous in that vest to do it in something like this. It'd be absolutely stunning. And then just do something black underneath and have the black and white reversible. But this is Balenciaga. It is reversible, black on one side, black and white check on the other side. Beautiful solid black. I mean, it's really a beautiful fabric. It's probably a little heavier than a 4. Probably what I have on is a 4. This is probably more like a 5. It's a little bit heavier. But it's, you know, it's perfect for, you buy it, a couple yards, you don't get time to make it, and you use it on your couch as a throw. It would be an amazing throw because you'd never want to get it made up because it's really lovely. It's beautiful fabric and it's very toasty warm. Okay, so then that's 5808. 5809, this is a Christian Dior. And I love this simply because it is a beautiful example of just a really lightweight. This is actually, I tore off the tag, sorry. This is 100% cotton, but it's done in a texture that is only Christian Dior, you know, to take these beautiful fibers and just put them into a texture that is just lovely. This would be awesome for, like, the top I have on underneath this is the ribbed 122, the bias rib knit top. This would be so pretty for that. Even though it's not a ribbing, it's a texture stripe, kind of. It would be so pretty for that top. And we all need some tops to wear under our capes, so this would work really well. Okay? It's very pretty. It's a really nice, beautiful, it's that dull gold gray or gold dull gray, whatever it is. And this goes along with it. This is also Christian Dior, and this is called, they called it Cookies and Cream. I love this. Cookies and Cream. It's a boiled wool. I think this would be the cutest cape imaginable. We just don't have that much, or I would have stolen this fabric also. Look at that. Is that adorable? Be so cute. Little cape on that. Love that. This is actually a knit. It has stretch in one direction, but just so you know, it is a knit. So the properties are just a little bit different. Great drape. Cute. Just cute as can be. Especially put it on the little bias. Oh, adorable. And then we have a plaid, because you can't have capes without having plaids. So we did a plaid. And this is a really beautiful, kind of a forest color green and a gold. It has, it almost feels like it's a fusible. It almost feels like it's a second layer. It's not, but it has just a really great hand to it and very pretty. It's a Glen plaid, so it's even. Yeah, it's a symmetrical plaid. Very pretty. And I think it's the fiber is a wool. It's beautiful. It's very pretty. And again, put the whole thing on the bias, it'd be just a great, especially as popular as green is right now. And this next one is actually a little bit of a green also. This is a 5808, 9, 10, 11. This is 5812. This is a mohair. And you can use both sides. It's a really light color. I put mint, but it's really not mint. It's more of an olive green. But the olive green is mixed with this milk color. And so the texture, number one, is beautiful. First off, it's a mohair. But it's just really, really pretty. But it's really an olive green. So worn with a cape out of it, worn with olive green pants would be just really beautiful. And it's got different color greens in there, but it's mostly olive. Very pretty. I have to change that on the website. That color is really wrong. Okay, this one also is just, aren't these, they're so pretty. They're just so pretty. I mean, I could make a cape out of every one of them. Look at this. This is diamonds, very reversible. I'm not even sure which side's the right side. But I love the fuzzy side. That's why I put it out. It's so soft. Anyway. This is diamond patterns. It's kind of a milk and a chocolate brown. And we don't get to see brown very often. We see a lot of black, but not necessarily a brown. I love this. It's got great drape. It's a It's a wool acrylic, I think is the actual fiber. Let me check on that. It's an acrylic wool, yeah. Very pretty. And that's 58.13, and then the last one, 58.14. We've had this one. I just had to bring it out because I felt like it was so appropriate for what we were doing. I love the selvage. For those of you who got that plum wool, it sold out very quickly. This would be just a beautiful cape to go with that. Both sides are usable. Just a cape to expand that piece of fabric would be just stunning. This also is a wool. This is a wool poly. Just pretty. And I like a little bit of poly in the wool. I think it just helps it, I don't know, except when it's cashmere. But you know, it's pretty. You'd never know there's poly in there. You'd have to burn it to even know. But it's a very pretty piece of fabric. And both sides are usable. Can't tell what is the right side, what is the wrong side. And it's got great selvage. That's called a home run fabric, okay? All right. So that's it. We want to show you, we want you to get sewing capes. And you know, capes are so fast, you can get a cape made tonight. Go up to your sewing room, get it started, go for it. Just doesn't take very long at all. That's the fun thing about capes. They don't have to fit, and they'll look amazing. And there's no reason not to have a great wardrobe. They're great for travel. They're great on the planes. They're great they're like blankets, but they're better looking. That's the goal, is to make them better looking, I should say. All right, let's answer questions. Does the Chanel cape have, we answered that. Sorry about that. Does not have a center back seam. I cut it all as one. If you go back, if you're watching this, and if you go back to the Burberry cape, on that Burberry cape, I put the dimensions of the cape because they had the dimensions. A lot of times they don't even print the dimensions anymore, but they had the dimensions, so I put them on there so that you could copy those dimensions, or else you could, you know, reduce them. I wouldn't reduce front to back. I would not reduce the 30 inches. I probably might reduce the width, but I wouldn't reduce the 30 down. Why not seek the Balenciaga? Why not sell the Balenciaga in 1/2 yards? I'm only 5'2" and don't need 2 yards. Probably because I just didn't think about it, you know. I mean, I just didn't think about it.
There's a lot of people that like the 1/2 yards. Might have to address that.
Oh, well, you know, we don't. The problem with selling by the 1/2 yards in general is we don't buy it like that. We have to pay, you know, we have to pay for the whole yards. The only reason I did it for the Chanel is specifically for this suggested cape, you only need 1.5 yards, so I just didn't feel like to sell it in the whole yard was fair. We'll lose on this deal. So that, you know, I have to be careful of that. I can't go into selling fabrics in 1/2 yards. I can't do it. So that's why I didn't do it. The only reason I thought of this was because you know, with this, to me, it's a black back, so I find it to be, you could always do something with a 1/2 yard, but we can't, we just, you know, we've been asked before to sell by 1/2 yards. We can't do that. We can't do it. Or we'd raise our prices. I mean, you can do it if you raise your prices, but I don't want to raise the prices. I want to keep the prices as low as we can. That's the goal, is to keep the prices as low as we can. So because not everybody's 5'2", those people who are 5'2" probably have to spend a little bit more. But you could probably do it in 1 yard, I would think. No, 5'2"? If I could do it in 1.5 yards, I would think you could do it in 1 yard. Is the green plaid printed, not woven, if it's white on the back? The green plaid is printed. Yes, it is printed. It's not woven. Well, here's the crazy thing about it, you guys, is let me look, because I think there's 2 layers here. Well, no, there's not. I keep thinking there's 2 layers. It has to be printed. It just looks like there's 2 layers on the back, but what it looks like is it looks like it's woven with another layer on it. But because I can't pull them apart, I would have to say it's printed. It just doesn't look printed. It's a complex fabric. I don't know what to tell you. I would say it has to be printed because I can't. It's not on the back. We'll just keep it at that. I think it's a little more complex than that, but we'll have to keep it that simple answer because that's what you want. Can you buy cookies and cream in a half yard also? No, the only one you can buy in a half yard is the Chanel. That's it. Okay, we don't do half yards. We're not going to do half yards unless you guys want to pay more. I mean, you know, no, I'm not even going to entertain that. You know, everything is by the yard. That's it. Would 5813 work for a jacket with direction? 5813. Let's see, my numbers are off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is it too stiff for a jacket? No, not at all. No, not at all. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's definitely would work for a jacket. It's definitely not too stiff. You might want to give yourself, you know, when you're cutting out your jacket, just what I do when I'm working with a little thicker fabric is I just do like a 1/4 inch outside the seams just to give me a little more circumference. And then if I don't need it, I can always take it away. But it's definitely not too stiff, not at all. These fabrics have beautiful drape. What is this month's POM? It's on the very front page of the website. Just go right to the front and you'll see it right there. How do you get the pockets? Now, how do you get the pockets? It's in the pattern. These are in the pattern. Peggy, mention you did a sew-along for the cape you have on. Oh, did I do a sew-along for the cape I have on? Why don't you guys, I'm telling you, I'm only worried about what's coming. What's happened in the past, I never remember. That's good and bad news, huh? And that's not Alzheimer's. That's just how I've always been, okay? You can search for 98 cape. Did we have a sew-along on this cape? Do you know? 98 cape, sew-along. 98, you can just put in Saks Fifth Avenue. It seems like we did have a sew-along, actually, now that you say that. Anyway, you guys can find it. Thank you, though. I really appreciate you guys keep me honest, keep me straight. I appreciate that. Can we please see 5803 again? Sure. 5803 is a zebra. Yes, yes, yes. You can see anything you want again, you guys. You know, we never know how long you want to see it, so sometimes we go a little bit too fast and we can go back. Which cape would be best for the cookies and cream fabric? I would do the one I have on. I don't know why, but you know, also I think that the cookies and cream would be just cute because to me the cape I have on is a little bit like a pop. It's like got a little cup to the bottom of it. It's like a balloon cape kind of, if that's a fair way to say that. And I think the fabric and the pattern matches really well. Do I need to reinforce the split at the top of the Chanel for any reason? No. You know, I split it up the middle and then fringed all that out. And so the fringe is reinforcing that. Now, the fringe is actually a safeguard for the fabric. I don't know how to say this correctly. When you fringe out a woven fabric, it actually takes care of the edges. So the fringe is a protection, and so it will stop it from stretching out. You'll have the fringe. So the fringe is really, a lot of times, let me just show you this so you can know what I'm talking about. In some cases, where they do fringe, they'll come along at the base of the fringe and they'll put a stitch. I didn't feel like I needed this, you know, right at the base so that it doesn't fringe out anymore. But, because see, you can see that you can just keep fringing it. But I decided if more came out, it was kind of pretty, I'm okay with that. But you could stitch right along there. And keep in mind, that is the base of the neck, so I don't think you need anything. I don't think it will need anything. I think it will just take care of itself, and it's beautiful fabric. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And to think it's a wool is just, you know, for those of you who purchase it, it's almost like unbelievable to think that's a wool. Just very pretty. I mean, you know, it's just beautiful fabric. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions when we can. All right, don't forget tonight's the last night for Fit to Stitch to go into our $1,000 value. Our $1,000 value, that's a good deal. What colors are in 58, is that 14, Benjamin? 5814, that's this one right here. This is kind of a milk, in my mind, and a plum. And so I think where you really see it is a lot of times when you look at the end of the bolt. And so because you guys aren't here in person, we're going to show you the end of that bolt. And to me, a lot of times in the selvage is where you realize what the colors are. That's where you really see the plum. It's plum when I look all through it. It's definitely, you know, this is a fall, that fall plum tone that's so popular right now. And then it's a milk base. It's not a white. It's like a winter white. It's beautiful. But that, hopefully that selvage can help you. I came in late. Could I see number 2 again? Of course. Give me just 1 second. I will. Okay. Nicely done, cameraman. Nicely done. Number 2, this is our pre-sale. And this is our, this is a 100% wool, and it's reversible. And I think it's a beautiful reversible. So it's a navy, and you can see that it's like just a real soft floral on one side, and then like a little diamond pattern. And it's a navy. It's got a little bit of cream in there. It's got a little bit of wine. And it's 100% wool. But it's blouse weight. It's not heavy at all. It's got great drape. I mean, you certainly could do a cape. It'd be very nice to do a cape. But it's just really light. You know, it feels a little bit like cashmere. I mean, I know it's not cashmere because he told me it was wool. But it's very pretty how light it is. And the weave, you know, it's like a double weave. You know, like I say, these fabrics are complicated, you guys. It's not like the old days where they're just woven or knit. They're getting more and more complicated. These Italians are really going for it. But, you know, I don't know how they do it. It feels like, or it seems like there's another layer in there, but there's not. They're both woven, but they're woven at the same time. And you can tell by the selvage a little bit. I wish you were in the store so you could see all this, but it's just so pretty. They're really beautiful. This fabric is on pre-sale. It's on pre-sale only, and it's on pre-sale through Friday, just FYI, okay? I'm in love. Does anybody want to see number 1 again? This is I'm in love with this fabric. I mean, look at this. This is a silk and viscose. Oh. You know that little cape I did a couple weeks ago? Not the little cape, but 211, Nina's top. That little short version of Nina's top. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Oh, so pretty. All right, we'll tell you, I was shopping last week with one of you, and we went to, I think it was Acros. We were in Highland Park, and we went to Acros. And there was a fitted jacket, and it was a dress. But let's just imagine like a jacket dress, like a 4200. If you think of that for just a minute, like a sheath dress, but like halfway between your crotch and your knee. And then underneath was a skirt, and it was just fringe. The whole skirt was fringe, but because it went at your waist and it was covered by this dress, the only thing you saw was the fringe at the bottom. Oh my gosh, it was just beautiful. They had it on the mannequin. It was absolutely stunning, and I thought that'd be so pretty with just a pair of black tights and a pair of boots. It's just beautiful. It was really, really something. It's fun to see. Just fun to see. Okay, anything else we can show you, you guys? What's that? Oh, yes, thank you. I'm always killing myself on these cords, you guys. Okay. What pattern would you use? Sorry, you guys. What pattern would you do using 5811? The cream with the raised dots. The cookies and cream? Is that the right number? 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 5810, isn't it? Just to, oh, you're not asking me that. You're asking me what I would do. I would do the one I have on. Yeah, you know why? Again, if you look at this kind of, I don't know, it kind of has like the shape of this jacket, or the shape of this cape is kind of like a little bubble. It's like a little bubble. So to me, this and that, this fabric would really look good in this particular vest, cape. I would probably take the sleeves and I would make them in a gray, just to have a little bit of accent. I would not do the whole thing in the dot. I would take just the sleeves, like I've done in the bias here, and I would twist them up. But I just love this, and I think it would look really good in this cape. I would put the two together, and you'd get like this little bubble, and I would wear it with charcoal, and it'd look like $1,000,000. Just an opinion. Number 2 fabric, would it work for pattern 95? Yes, yes. Oh, 95. 95 is Brooks top. Yes, it would, but I wouldn't do it. I don't know why I wouldn't do it. I hate to be so honest. I wouldn't do it because I don't feel like it has, you know, like if you take it like this, just say hypothetically, and you put it like this, which is what Brooks top does, it comes down and it hangs down. I feel like it would stick out a little bit. And it might not, if you were going to wear that with jeans, it would be really cute. Maybe it wouldn't. Can I retract that statement? I think that would be really cute in Brooks top, actually. That's a great idea. Especially when you hem the top, because you just turn it back and you would have that back side. Oh, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot, you guys. I like that. That's a good idea. I felt like it would be too heavy, but I don't think it would be. I think it's a really good idea, especially with the sides that are reversible. Please show cookies and creams again. Yeah. You know, that might be cute too, is to do the, no, I don't think I do that. I love the texture. Texture is so popular for fall right now that it's just, and you know what would be really cool is if you did it with winter white and had a whole winter white outfit. Or gray, you know, I don't know. I love this. I just am in love with it. Like I said, I don't have a lot of yardage on this. It's a boiled wool. It just screams fashion to me. It just screams in style, and it just looks so couture to me. I just really like it. Okay, sorry. Like this kind of? Oh, like that. You can't tell the nubs. I see. I see what you're saying. It's nubs. But the nubs are so soft. I love the nubs. Yeah, it's really cool looking. It's very cool looking. And you know, you could really create a pattern with the nubs, with the little knobs, because they're perfectly in line. So you could go bias with them. It'd be so pretty. It's a knit. It has stretch to it. I mean, not a lot. You know, I mean, I thought a cape, but it'd be cute to do just like there's lots of things you could do because it's knit. Okay. All right, ladies. Are we good? We got our LA fabric buying trip this week. We're going to have so much fun. I'm just really excited about it. Okay. Does 5802 have enough body for a skirt? Definitely. Yes. Which fabric of tonight's fabrics would you use as a cape for the black and cream print? okay, sorry. Which fabric for tonight's fabrics would you use as a cape for the black and cream print? Oh, I see, as a cape for over. Oh, if you're doing this for black, and I don't have one here, because unless you, yeah, no, I don't have one. Because that black that's on the back of that Balenciaga is beautiful. It's a really deep, rich black. But you wouldn't want to make that cape one side only. You'd want to make that cape reversible because it's such a rare fabric. And so once you made it reversible, that winter white and this would not work. So those black fabrics that I put up over Labor Day, one of the reasons I put up all those blacks would be phenomenal for solid black capes if you're going to do bodies out of this, for pants that would go with this. Look at those blacks, because those blacks are $10 a yard and they're really good blacks. So think of them to complement all of these. And I think that you'll have what you're looking for, okay? Okay. Is Cookies and Cream a winter white or a white? No, it's not a white. Definitely not a white. It's a winter white. They typically don't do whites. Designers don't do whites in wintertime. I don't think I've ever seen a white. It's always a winter white. It's always a milk color, because white just isn't, it's just not seen. It's just not worn. It's not in style. All right. What size did you make your cape? Small. I love it. I love it. I love it. Feels so good. And I have a new cape, and I've needed a new cape so bad. Please, when should we expect the bodysuit pattern from the pre-sale to arrive? Probably the end of September. We're working on getting out the pre-sale pattern, those fall patterns. We'll start going out the end of this week, but it'll take us a whole week to get those out. And then after that, we'll work on that 124. We'll get that bodysuit out for you, okay? What is your cape pattern number? 98. I didn't find it on the website. 98, it's called Fifth Avenue Cape. And it's because I got the original cape at Saks Fifth Avenue. And I loved the cape. And I wore it out. And then I made a pattern. And I've worn them all out. So now I got a new one. And I really like it. Okay, are we good, ladies? And gentlemen, I know there's a few guys out there always watching. We appreciate all of you. Do you think the cape you are wearing would be too overwhelming for a short person? No, you just have to do it right. And when I say right is, you want to wear it open and you want to go monochromatic underneath. I didn't go monochromatic, but if you're shorter, you want to go monochromatic underneath. That's it. You know, the cape can be shortened also. Don't take off the bottom. Earlier in the webcast, I said you want to take off the top portions, both in the front and in the back. And you could go down to a small size. Keep in mind that we did a couple, there's a couple of YouTubes on grading. So if we give you sizes that are, you know, small and medium, whatever, and you decide that's too much for you, you can grade down. It's very easy to grade. You look at how to do it, and I mean, you just, bam, just draw a new number and just go down. You can do that. So if you decide you don't want, you know, as much circumference around, then just grade it down. Make it once, just throw it together really quick, just so you can kind of see how it goes together. And then decide if you want it to be a little bit less, okay? You could grade down to an extra small if you wanted it to be a little less, okay? Okay, what pattern are your pants you're wearing? These are the new pants. These are 34-24, the new pleated pant. They're pleated, they're the wider leg, they're just fun. These are what's on the cover. The cover of the Rolling Stones, except it's not the Rolling Stones. Yeah, no, I've loved these. This is that corduroy. I just love them. They're so comfortable, they feel like pajamas. And because it matched my vest, my cape, I decided I could do that. I could put that all together. Okay? It's just fun. Clothes are fun. Clothes are a lot of fun, especially new clothes that we make. All right, so I think we're good. Get your fabric ordered, get your cape made. It doesn't have to fit. Just pick a pattern, pick a fabric, bam, do it. Can't wait for LA. Definitely bringing a water bottle. Bring a water bottle. It's hot, I know. But we're going to be in an air-conditioned, we'll be in AC all day. We're spoiled. We have private drivers. We're staying at the Hyatt. We're spoiled. We're spoiled rotten on this trip. I'll spoil you rotten. How's that? We just buy great fabric. And we're going to FIT'em also. The FIT'em is the LA. Anyway, we're getting a private tour. I just thought I'd throw that in on the side. Anyway, we will see you all. Well, I won't be here Thursday night, but we'll see you all next week. All right? Happy sewing. Thanks for being here. Bye.